Downs Gaming and Hotel. We work extremely hard to make your experience here convenient, safe, and fun.
I love Batavia Downs Gaming.
We love it!
I love Batavia Downs Gaming.
We don't just like Batavia Downs Gaming, we love Batavia Downs Gaming.
Batavia Downs Gaming, Hotel, and Racetrack. We not only want you to like coming here, we want you to love coming here!
Folks, in case you are deaf, dumb, blind, or living under a rock, this is not the show where you're wrestling with your conscience. It's not the show where you're wrestling with your budget. This is wrestling with emotion. And we're coming off a crazy Dynamite Raw. We got Saturday Night Main Event on tap this weekend, as well as AEW Double or Nothing. A lot happening in the world of wrestling. And as always, each Wednesday, we are here to talk about it and wrestle with emotion. Brought to you by the region's premier gaming destination, Batavia Downs. Just missed the Preakness, but can always go and win more, lots more in Batavia at the Downs. Let's get the panel in here. Your friend, my friend, our friend, Jake Micah, and the head of the table, Michael Partherman. By God, that's Maniac's music. Where did he come from? He's not supposed to be here.
Not a left. He wasn't scheduled tonight.
Good evening, boys. Live on the program. Shout out you guys for firing this up. Super excited. I mean, let's face it. Wrestling has been good. There's some holes across the board. There's always going to be holes across the board. But we've got a big AEW pay-per-view, and we got a WWE Saturday Night Main Event on the horizon. Can't be upset about that. A lot on tap.
Well, listen, guys, I might not necessarily be as hyped about things in wrestling as Triple H might be about Tyrese Halliburton versus Jalen Brunson. But I can promise you this, everybody. This is not a show, not only where we're not wrestling with our budget or our conscience, this is not a show that's going to get cut off 3/4 of the way through so that the final boss can come in to do his bullshit, to hype his movie.
I felt the mana when my screen turned off and Black Adam turned on.
Yeah, folks, also, in case you're living under a rock, the Saturday Night Collision was cut off early by none other than the final boss and Black Adam. In case you hadn't seen it, which you probably hadn't, if we're being quite honest with ourselves. And the news today, boys, that Dwayne is set to cast as like this like old oracle of sorts for this young fellow. Like what the fuck is going on? Are you kidding? Like, this guy is doing everything but show up in wrestling after he said you're just stick along for the ride that The Rock is taking you on.
But I'll tell you somebody who is showing up to grace us with his presence, the voice of reason, Ernie Green.
Oh, Big Pop.
I would never leave you guys at the altar of the Elimination Chamber.
I really appreciate that.
Ernie,
the gang's all here.
What are your thoughts? I mean, obviously, it's not really a surprise. You've been against Dwayne from day one.
I just kind of said, be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. Because even in the 2012, 2013 run that he had, there was rumbling that he was a pain in the to deal with then. Don't forget, he was supposed to start a program with Rock the day after WrestleMania 29, the Raw in New York City after he lost the belt to Cena, and he just up and left and claimed he had an injury without even really telling even Vince McMahon, and it kind of left them in a lurch even then. So this is not abnormal behavior from him. I mean, you guys know way more about movies than I do, and he's been rumored to be a pain in the neck on the sets and everything like that. So he's been very self-serving. Here's a question, really quick question, and I'll stop talking. What if I told you in 2021 that Dwayne would be hated in WWE, Triple H was in charge, and his closest ally is CM Punk? How would you have reacted to that? Like the night that he came out in Chicago, that wonderful introduction in AEW.
I would say, if you said that, I would say you're higher than Darby Allin is on Mount Everest right now.
And you know what? I would have deserved it.
My God. Ernie, I love you because you bring that perspective.
2021, after JR is going this building hasn't shook like this since Michael Jordan is. If you told me that right after that show, I would have been you're out of your goddamn mind.
Speaking of JR, best wishes to him in his cancer treatment.
Yes, we all wish the best for JR. Obviously, legend of the sport, the industry. Hope he gets well soon.
Get well soon,
But
JR.
boys, speaking of soon, this weekend, not only do we have Dynamite, it's Wednesday, and you know what that means, but big weekend on tap, not just for AEW, but in the world of wrestling as a whole. Saturday night's main event this Saturday. Where is this one taking place? Is this another
Tampa.
Texas one? Oh, Tampa.
This is the
Okay.
Tampa
Oh,
one.
sweet. Okay, cool. Dope location, Saturday night's main event. And we got a couple championship matches. And I think we're just going to go ahead and preview them now. But just any general discussion for the show. How do we feel about it? What's the feel on the Saturday night main event product as a whole since WWE has reintroduced it? Jake, I'll start with you.
That was going to be my biggest issue with it. Is it feels like it's been a pretty by the numbers affair, and that's kind of what Saturday night's main event has always been, right? Like, if you guys I'm asking you that, Partham and Ernie, you guys watched more Saturday night's main events, I'm sure, than I have in my life, but this is like it's been paint by the numbers. There hasn't been a lot of like storyline shock. It's been pretty standard affair. Now this is a different animal this weekend though, because now the championship match isn't going to be too, at least in my mind, not going to be that exciting. The steel cage match is like a very much like big time house show main event. We need a big type match on here to sell this house show type thing, like whatever. But that tag match is real, like, to everything going on in story, and they could be really basic with it, and it could just be the good guys get a win over the bad guys and stand happy, and it could be really basic, or they could do something really fun and really noteworthy on this show. And I feel like eventually they have to do something, and I'm not even saying it's something specific on this show, but one of these shows they have to do something that is like a holy shit moment, like a swerve of a large proportion, because otherwise these shows don't matter. And you got them on fucking NBC, you got them on Peacock, like it's your biggest platform, and you're just putting out paint by the numbers slop, basically. Like nothing like Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens from Saturday night's main event was honestly the biggest disappointment of a match for me. That's a match I was so excited for, and it felt like it was just like they went through the motions. And I get that you don't really have to put on like if you're on NBC, it's not like they want those guys out there doing death-defying shit, right? Like they're trying to put on their best. We know how WWE tries to act when they're trying to act like mature professional organization. So I get why they do it. I just want to see more substance from the show. I want it to be.
Couldn't agree more, Micah. They need to show out with this Saturday night main event. Let's say, like you said, the last couple have fallen very flaccid. It actually reminds me of the Saudi Arabia shows when they started, when things would happen on them, but there were basically no consequence. So where you could just miss those shows and be totally fine. But then Saudi Arabia pulled the amazing swerve of having Goldberg defeat The Fiend. And then you knew from that point, you needed to watch every Saudi show. And that's the moment that this Saturday night main event needs. It needs a Goldberg Fiend moment to drive the viewers and make sure that those numbers are popping for the Fed.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty awkward position that NBC puts them in. I mean, they'll take the money and they'll take the additional shows, but they have to keep it somewhere between a collection of Raw main events and a PLE level event. I mean, it's essentially a minor PLE with commercial breaks in between. I mean, you get commercial breaks on Peacock as it is if you don't pay the right subscription fee. And it's 4 matches instead of 5 to allow the matches not to get interrupted too much. They can fit 4 matches within 2 hours rather than 5 matches within 3, work out the time differences. But yeah, I do think that the tag match is going to be the most interesting one coming out of it because there's a lot of more storyline threads attached to that. Jay versus Logan's pretty predictable. I mean, Logan Paul can give Jay Uso a good match. And it's nice that they've set up not 1 but 2 possible challengers lining up and saying they're coming after the World Heavyweight Championship and making it seem more important. Drew Damian feels like it should be the blow-off, the cage match. And not that we're giving predictions on this because it's not an official PLE, but I feel like Damian's going to get his win back after Drew beat him at WrestleMania. And especially reports are saying that WWE is pretty pleased with Damian Priest apparently having to work through so many injuries to keep this feud going. Cena Truth is interesting because it's a non-title match. And other than AAing Truth through the table, Cena really hasn't said or done anything to really hype up this particular match. The intrigue is really just a running gag of Truth being Cena's biggest fan, I'm expecting like Truth to start hitting Cena's moves on Cena, which is going to be a huge meta moment that we've seen coming for years and years. But they're big matches, but there might not be too much consequence coming out of them, other than on to the next feud, on to the next opponent, on to the next challenger.
Yeah, they are going by the old Saturday night's main event format, like Micah said, which back in the day was basically just like a showcase of Hulk Hogan. Well, let's see Hulk Hogan beat like a mid challenger. Let's see the Macho Man beat a mid challenger, and that would drive people to go watch their house shows. Because back in the day, you made the money from the house shows. Well, it's not 1986 anymore. They need to do anything, in my opinion, just to get more eyeballs in the product. And the one thing they used to do also was have continuity, which in Hulk Hogan would help Andre the Giant against King Kong Bundy and Big John Studd. So the next show, the main event was that tag team match. They don't have that continuity right now. I feel like they kind of are. I think WWE's like the creatives like backed into a wall. They're like, we have this Saturday night's main event, but we also have a PLE in 2 weeks. It's like, how do we make this? How do we make this show good and also sell our PLEs? I mean, I think there's only ever been 2 title changes ever on Saturday night's main event. I think there's time to end that. Like, you don't have to have like Jey Uso lose or John Cena lose, but a title change I think would do wonders for them moving forward in terms of getting eyeballs in the product. I mean, it could be Lyra Valkyria for all we know. You know what I'm saying? Just have a title change or just a holy shit moment. They haven't had a holy shit moment yet. And Saturday night's main event had some, even though there weren't any title changes. Like the Mega Powers formed on Saturday night's main event, and they had. And what's that?
I said good point. Good point. Sorry.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't have to have the title, but they need to have like something to get them. And Jesse Ventura, I love Jesse Ventura, and he was great on commentary. But just having his commentary for one match isn't enough to keep the eyeballs in the product, in my opinion.
Somebody call the Hebner twins. Let's get them in on this.
I don't think it's too good to bank on nostalgia too. But to your guys' whole point, like until something crazy happens, this show to me just feels like fodder to be able to get some of the stars title shots on big spots that they normally wouldn't be able to do unless it was a house show, and have it all the eyes on the product. Pretty much everything you guys all said. I think we just pick there's just the 4 matches Saturday night's main event, unless anything gets said on SmackDown, which I think is probably highly unlikely at this point. So should we just rapid fire through them, boys?
Let's do it.
All righty, sounds good. First one, I'll go for Priest McIntyre steel cage match. I'll go to you, Ernie, first. Who you got?
I'll be rapid fire, Priest.
Yeah, Priest looks like he's going to get his win back.
Priest will get the win. McIntyre can always take a loss and be just as strong on Monday Night Raw.
Yep. Priest. Same thing.
Wow. Oh, my God. I feel like I have an opportunity to do something.
These aren't official picks, I don't think.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to take McIntyre. Okay. Sorry. Just getting things in order here.
Maniac, are the interns counting this as official picks here?
Sure.
These are picks, Parthy.
All right.
By the way, you know who's punching air right now? That WWE has a show on NBC this weekend, and they have NBA players in their game.
Oh, dude, we were just talking before the show. We were saying TNT, like with this basketball game tonight, WWE's probably pissed they can't show any of that footage.
Yep.
CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker. Unlikely match that I thought we would have been seeing maybe like a month or 2 even ago. So start with Jake.
Whew. Man, I know Partham already thinks I'm going to just lock in the Sami Zayn heel turn here. I don't think it's going to happen Saturday, Partham. I don't think it's going to happen. So I'm not predicting that. This is interesting to me. I want them, and I said it before, I want them to just do something cool with this. Don't just be Sami Zayn and CM Punk getting a win because they're the 2 good guys, and somehow or the bad guys, singling out Sammy and winning. Don't just make this a match that could have happened on any Monday Night Raw. Make this fucking sick. Make this epic. Do whatever you can. This is the first time we've ever seen Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker together. So you would hope that this means that they're going to look like a badass duo, that they're going to have some cool moves to do and everything else, and cool, like maybe an entrance together. Maybe this is where they debut like a faction entrance, things like that. Like something needs to be a hook with this group, because they've been a mismatched group so far, and that we've been waiting for a name. We've been waiting to see what Braun's real intentions are and everything else. So I just want to see some big development with these two. And I guess I'm talking myself into the result here. These two got to win, right? Like it would be like CM Punk, like Sami Zayn probably is here to just eat this pin, because the two bad guys, the bad guy group can't lose in their first tag team match together. That's kind of where I'm at. I could see it going both ways. Like I'm debating with myself as I'm saying this. I'm picking Rollins and Breakker officially though. Maniac, what about you?
Everything you just said, if Breakker and Rollins don't win this, honestly, they're pretty much dead on arrival to me. It just makes no sense why they're together. But altogether, I do have Sami Zayn eating this pin. And the only thing I can add to what you said, Micah, is this would be perfect in a Sami Zayn WrestleMania 42 main event montage, him eating this pin in this event.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you guys for the same reasons. Seth and Braun need some momentum. CM Punk and Sami Zayn are probably going to enter the Money in the Bank qualifiers after this is done. And this match really shouldn't hurt them in that anyway. I'm sure that we're going to hear some shenanigans from Seth and Braun as a way to get the win over Sami. I won't play the clip. So we'll just say Seth and Braun. Ernie?
Yeah, there's probably going to be some tomfoolery, maybe a little flim-flam.
Skullduggery.
Skullduggery, yeah, hijinks. I do think that they are going to, something's going to happen. Braun and Seth are going to win. Something's going to happen where there's going to be a miscommunication between Seth and Punk, and that will further the tease of this Sami's turning heel. I don't think he's going to turn heel on this show, but I think there'll be something that'll be like, I wonder if he's going to turn heel, kind of just to forward that heel turn, perhaps.
Like does like so you're saying like him and Punk arguing is an impetus towards Sami being like, fuck
it's gonna
CM Punk,
it's almost gonna mirror like Ospreay and Hangman.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, definitely. The can they coexist from these two will be very fun.
Even though they don't really have a match between each other, and they've already had a match in the past, the Elimination Chamber qualifier, they're not really really, coming to blows at any time soon. Maybe they will at Money in the Bank if they both qualify.
Now that's interesting that you just brought that up, Parthen, though, because maybe Rollins and Breakker are all just a distraction to get us into the Punk Zayn feud for the summer, and that keeps them away from Rollins while he's going for the title. That could be a way that they push this match out of it too. So a lot of ways they could go with it. That's why I'm interested in this match more than anything else, because I think it clearly has the most stakes to what the product will look like coming out of the show.
Whatever tension happens between Sami and Punk, Jay's going to get caught in the middle of it.
That's
so
true.
He might have to end up choosing sides, or maybe he's the the glue that the glue that bonds them back together. We got to go after Seth. He's the common enemy.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of things that could come out of this. I am going to pick Seth and Braun as well as a result. So clean sweep. I took the opportunity not to do that on the last one, but here we have two title matches that I feel like might be also clean sweeps.
Well, one title match.
One, yeah.
Oh,
Cena.
Cena's not even for the title?
Non-title.
Poor Ron. Poor Ron can't even get
I
the
mean,
WWE title match nowadays.
So stupid, but
yeah.
anyways.
But
who deserves
to earn a title match besides being Cena's fan?
They have the opportunity to do something amazing though, where if like Ron or R-Truth obviously like a quick roll up win, like not quick, but like maybe after 5 to 8 minutes, and then Cena's like, no, to heck with that, you're getting a championship shot right now. And then he just absolutely annihilates R-Truth.
I think
all right,
let's
do this.
Let's go to that. Yeah, let's just go to that match.
Yeah.
R-Truth has just as good a case for a title match as Logan Paul does, bro. They're like, come on.
I mean,
in
and
this industry 30 years.
Part of them, I feel you, but at this point in both of these guys' careers, all that needs to happen for R-Truth to get this title shot is exactly what Cena did. And the fact that they're not doing it at all for I get what you're saying totally, but it's just very lame that they're just not doing it, because I think we all know who's going to win anyway. Maniac, you're right. They have a great chance to do something really cool here, but will they actually have R-Truth pin John Cena on Saturday night's main event. Ernie, what do you think?
I think the idea is great. I think there's about a maybe like 3.5% chance of it happening, unfortunately. 'Cause I think that, I think this will be way more entertaining than we think it's going to be. I think it's going to be like a comedy match at the beginning, and then it's going to turn into a serious wrestling match, and Cena wins by the skin of his teeth. I did not like R-Truth's interview the other day on SmackDown. Like, he's still way too goofy. Like, if someone put me through a table, I would not be as happy-go-lucky as he was, and I really thought that he should have shown more like babyface fire to be mad at Cena, and he was like, he wasn't. And like, I get that's kind of like his gimmick, but it just felt really off, and I didn't like that. But I think this match, this whole set of circumstances, will be more entertaining than we give it credit for at now.
I mean, R-Truth's whole gimmick is being off, and I mean, a couple cans short of a six-pack, essentially, and other metaphors. Hassan Terrell says, "I vote for R-Truth."
I love it.
Well, I mean,
R-Truth got hooters.
I really do wish this was a title match, just so the stakes were a little bit higher. But I don't think we need to have a fluke roll-up pin to have John Cena, goad him into a title match. I think one way or the other, John Cena is going to make a relatively short work of R-Truth, and then he's going to hold the title up. He's going to fake, walking out, and then he's just going to AA him through a table and beat him up some more just to prove a point, just to shut R-Truth up and get the heel heat that we've been waiting for, that we've been calling for Cena to, bloody up R-Truth. Man, I don't think they're going to bloody him up on Saturday night's main event on NBC and a national audience. But, Cena's probably going to make a statement with R-Truth. Maniac, what do you got?
Yeah, Cena wins or retains or however you want to do it. Yeah, I mean, if R-Truth wins, I'll take the 0-1 on the record. But yeah, altogether, I guess I'm just thinking like if there's anything funny they could do, I just see it being kind of basic. And at the end of the day, though, you do always get more out of R-Truth than it sounds like it should be on paper. So I expect I'll be surprised.
And I was going to jump on. I'm going to jump on that point because I think the biggest thing of this match is it's an awesome showcase for Ron Killings, the man, the wrestler who deserves a spotlight like this because he is actually an awesome wrestler and he just hasn't needed to be. Like really, he's great in his role, but he's been a great wrestler through his career, and I think he can turn back the clock here a little bit and put on another really really good match where people are like, damn, I didn't know R-Truth could do that. So I'm excited to see what he does. But yes, Cena probably winning and probably beating the crap out of R-Truth after the match too.
Yeah, I penciled in Cena for all of us before you guys even answered, just to show the transparency there. I do want to see R-Truth hit the 5-knuckle shuffle on John Cena at one point during this match, just for the pop. But yeah, Cena obviously.
He's going to try, but I think Cena will screw him up when he tries.
This will be good though, Jake. You're right. A lot of the young folk are going to be exposed to R-Truth as a legitimate wrestler for the first time, and they're going to be in for quite the shock. And they might be in for quite the shock with this match as well. Jey Uso versus Logan Paul. I know I was kind of shocked when this came to fruition. Yeah, Jake, thoughts?
You want my thoughts on this match?
I do.
I hope they give him
that Logan Paul deserves the title shot just about as much as R-Truth. So that's why I'm going to you first.
Yeah, that's fair. I did say that. Yeah, I think this match, I hope it gets like 8 minutes. I hope it's a lot of yeet spamming and super kicks, and I hope they get out of here. I really don't. I don't know. I don't anticipate this being crisp work, and I think it still can be entertaining. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad match, but I think the way you have to structure this match is it has to be quick, big moves, like almost right away, like almost. You know how they did the why am I blanking on this dude's name? Oh, because he's a redacted name. Redacted versus Goldberg at the Survivor Series a couple years. Was it the Survivor Series or the WrestleMania match I'm thinking of, where it was like 6 minutes of just a car crash where they were just like spearing each other through things and just running around like that. I want that match. Obviously they can't do the physical stuff, but these guys can't go 15, 20 minutes. That's what Sammy and Punk versus Braun and Seth is for, is to do the heavy lifting of the wrestling. This needs to be box office. This needs to be just aura filled, like aura spamming, all the stuff that I really don't want to see. And Jey Uso needs to fucking win this match, please. Like, please.
Yeah, I don't know that Brock Lesnar isn't necessarily a name redacted like certain other people we can mention in recent and very past events. Down goes Paul is the comment. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be. I don't consider Logan Paul, as much as he's great at making moments, making viral moments. You know, filming himself while he dives off of a table or a ring post or something. It's going to be a spot monkey man. It's going to be super kicks and spears and splashes all around. And, you know, just get in, do your spots, and get out. And Jey Uso should retain. Ernie, what do you got?
I mean, Logan Paul. I'm wrong sport. Logan Paul, he's meant to be there to almost beat champions and to really, really get the people wondering, wondering, like, is he going to win? People are there's a contingent of pro wrestling fans who would lose their minds if he won the championship. So he's going to get as close as he possibly can without winning, similar to what he did with Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia. But I mean, Jay's going to win this.
Yep. So clean sweep across the board on that too, and at least the title is actually on the line in that match. But we shall
main event Jey Uso on NBC. How the hell? Like, this is a crazy timeline, guys. I'm happy for him, but it's just insane.
I'm happy for him too. It is quite insane, and I would not have expected he's main eventing against Logan Paul of all people.
If I may transition, Slick. Speaking of insane things, we've got an Anarchy in the Arena now booked. They don't exactly have a definitive list of participants, because I think the baby faces are a little outnumbered on the men's side, and it hasn't been made clear if the women
are going to be involved. Yeah,
are going to be involved officially in the match. Marina Shafir and Willow Nightingale. Yes. Are they going to just be ancillaries? Are they just going to be there to,
I feel like they're going to be in the match.
They have to put them in. I will be pissed if they're not just in the match.
But they basically be handcuffed to each other the entire time. They can't trade off partners unless they're just going to do something.
I don't know. I feel like this is like essential.
It is Anarchy.
I know they don't usually do it on like AEW shows, but obviously like in the Lucha Underground and stuff, they used to do the mixed gender matches. I don't think Tony's opposed to like having this is a totally a spot where I could see John Moxley hit like
I was going to say he has hit one or two moves on women recently, so he's not above that.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
And
this is totally a spot where I feel like Tony allows like someone to spike a woman through a table if they have to.
Well, also it's just easier to do on pay-per-view than it is on Turner, probably.
Yes. Oh, 100%. That's such a good call, Jake. That's why they get away with half the shit they do at Anarchy in the Arena on these pay-per-views, because it's not on television.
But it's a great point, Partham, because it changes the whole fabric of the match if they're gonna just be like supporting pieces to the 5 men of each side, and how that works. And also, what do we got? I guess we don't really know who's gonna be on that Death Rider side. We can assume that it's Moxley, Gabe Kidd, and the Young Bucks, and then I guess Claudio or Yuta.
How about Gabe Kidd and the Young Bucks being on opposing sides in New Japan Pro Wrestling just mere weeks ago?
They got a lot of explaining to do tonight with why Gabe Kidd is doing what he's doing and all right, so let's remove storyline from this. Gabe Kidd's in this because Gabe Kidd's one of the best wrestlers in the world. He's the biggest draw in New Japan. They got Forbidden Door coming up, who I assume, and it's in England. He's from England, so I assume he's going to be a big part of that show. So they're trying to, get him on, put him next to main eventers, get him some notoriety, everything. But it's a baffling decision storyline wise, because he's been opposed of both Moxley and the Bucks in the past. Now, the one thing this is what I think they're going to go to, Partham. Now, I still think they should have done this before. I think they're going to go to the fact that Gabe Kidd has hated AEW. That's been his whole gimmick, is he hates AEW. He hates what they represent, thinks they're fucking stupid, whatever, and that he aligns with Moxley's vision now. Like, he sees what Moxley's been doing, and he's like, I fuck with that. I wanted to tag in. And if that's what it is, that's okay. Like, it's not the greatest. At least both he has that motive, he has that thread from the past that they can go on with here. Who would be the other members for the babyface team, though? Because we got Hobbs, So you're looking at Hobbs, Swerve, Kenny, Joe.
Is what about Shibata? Is Shibata in there?
Shibata's been out because
they could announce he could
right?
come back tonight for all we know.
And then
Hook?
Hook is making his
Yeah,
way
I was gonna say Hook. I've been calling for Jack Perry and Hook to get involved. I thought they were going to show up at the cage match title match the other night, last week, but now I'm expecting them at the. Now I'm expecting them at the Anarchy in the Arena, and that'll be a part of our preview show. I assume this coming Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll get the final. We'll get the final. I'm assuming the final teams tonight. We would hope, but this is it was a chaotic. I was in the building last week. To folks who didn't know, for Dynamite in Chicago last week, and it was an awesome ending for a live crowd because just the excitement of the cage match. The crowd was up for the cage match. Samoa Joe got the biggest pop of the night. Everybody was there to cheer. No one thought Joe was going to win, but everybody was there to cheer Joe on to win the title. And then, honestly, the biggest thing that was happening during that rumbling was everybody. Once the beatdown starting, you started hearing murmurs in the crowd, guys. Like, oh, where's Swerve? Where's Swerve? Oh, we know Swerve's about to come out. And then you start hearing like, whose house from people? Like, people were like just like waiting for Swerve. So that was the crazy. That was just a fun little takeaway I wanted to share with you guys, because those are the fun things about going to those shows, and just to hear like a fervor start over Swerve when he wasn't even promoted for the show or anything like that. And that's the only time he came out the whole night, and he was probably the biggest star the whole night too. So good stuff. This match is going to be a blast.
All right, we got about 2 minutes to the start of Dynamite, so I think real quick we should cover MJF Hurt Syndicate contract signing tonight.
Yeah, we can all read the clock. We can go a little over. It's okay. It's okay.
We're not going to get caught off by the final boss.
I just want to get to this first since he was in the arena. Jake, what was this pop like when Mina got the pin on Tony Storm?
Yo, Mina was over as hell. People wanted Mina.
That's not Mina.
Thing. People were excited, and just excited to see this match, and then seeing Tony and the Tony Mina interactions were electric. But also, if Samoa Joe and Swerve were the biggest pops of the night, Tony Storm was third, and it was very, very close because that woman, she can do whatever she wants with this crowd. So this is going to be an awesome match. And you know why they're putting this match on? The reason I wanted this match on here is we will know about Mariah May. If Mariah May is leaving AEW, she's not going to show up during this match at all. If she signed a deal, she's going to be a part of this match in some way. That's why they booked this match, because they want to get the elephant out of the room about Mariah May.
Yeah. But Tony's got a date with whoever's going to be winning the Owens. So I think whatever Mariah's involvement, if she's going to be involved, is going to be directed at Mina. And they're going to have that.
Yeah, it definitely is. And this is totally why they're doing this match, because the Owen happens at All In, right? That's the ending there.
Well, the Owen winner gets their shot.
Yes, correct. But perfect fodder there. And like Jake said, very great way to bring Mariah back if she signed a deal. I think that has to be the case. I think she stayed, personally. Little bias, but boys, the last topic I have for us, MJF has been accepted into the Hurt Syndicate. Will he sign this contract tonight, or will he get hurt? Ernie, what do you think?
We're running out of time, so get hurt.
I think he's going to sign the contract, but it's come with a price. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I've been going back and forth all week. I think he's going to sign, and I think they're going to play around with this tension of them. He's not really a member, but he is a member. I think they're going to play around with that tension for a while.
You mean he's going to basically carry their bags for the next few weeks, right?
Absolutely.
It's almost like the honorary Oos for a little bit.
But he's never going to get. It's never going to happen.
He's not going to get his own T-shirt. Yeah,
right. Yeah. They ain't giving him no suit. They're not buying him nothing. No. Yeah.
I kind of agree with you, Jake, just based on the reaction that people got from Shelton, loading up the kick behind him. And Taz is like, he's going to blast him. And then it just never.
That was a good touch.
I feel like they're going to do that for weeks on end. So I'm kind of with you, Jake. But as you boys said, we're low on time. It is Wednesday. You know what that means. I'm going to conclude with this one last topic. Threw it in as a curveball.
Let's do it.
A feud that we had before we even had it. Tyrese versus Brunson. Who you guys got? Go around the horn. Give me a series prediction and game score, Ernie.
You know what? I think I predict the Pacers in 6, but I predict the Knicks tonight.
I default to Jake. He's the NBA guy.
I got the Pacers in 7, and I also have the Pacers tonight.
Partham, who would you have if they wrestled?
Oh, I would say Tyrese. He's more we were talking beforehand. He's more the WWE guy.
Good call. I'm gonna go Pacers in 7. I'm also going with Tyrese in the ring. But folks, this is not the show where we wrestle with basketballs. It's not the show where we wrestle with our conscience. It is wrestling with emotion. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. Enjoy Dynamite, and more importantly, go have a good night now.